Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
Welcome, everyone, to a Dynasty Dads player profile. This episode is brought to you by DynastyTradeCalculator.com.
Stop guessing. Start calculating. Tevin Coleman. This season's buy him now before he blows up in value guy that drove up his price. To say he underperformed is a bit of a head-scratcher to me. This season, Coleman finished with 800 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns, 32 receptions for 276 yards and 5 touchdowns. These numbers compared to his 2017 numbers are actually an improvement. More total yards, more rushing yards, more receptions, and more total touchdowns than the previous season. But most seem to be down on Coleman. I don't think he's much more than these numbers. He hasn't seen a huge jump in production with Devonta Freeman out. And I don't think anyone who signs him to be their lead back. And that's where his buy him now value was at the beginning of the season. As much as I love me some Kyle Shanahan, I'm avoiding Coleman at all costs. We talk about hating two-headed running back situations. Now he's in a three-headed running back situation, assuming the Niners don't cut McKinnon. This isn't a game I want to play each week. Which San Francisco running back do I start? So I'm avoiding Coleman.
Yeah, I don't really blame you.
You want to know his trade value?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's been updated because it's currently sitting at 109, 110 for Tevin Coleman.
That sounds a tad high, but I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't come nowhere for it. But if I got that offer for Tevin Coleman, I would
snap accept.
Slam it.
Give it to me. So I think he went to like the worst situation he could have. Now, if they cut McKinnon, it's a little bit different. And we kind of talked about that last week. If he went somewhere where he's a lead back, like Baltimore, or if he would have went to like Kansas City, I might have been all on the hype train, but not in San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco is going to be a kind of a weird situation for those running backs. I think they signed him as a backup, to be completely honest with you.
To who? Matt Breida?
Just as like a kind of a committee guy.
Yeah,
they're all the same. Really,
no.
I don't think one's much better than the other. The more I look at it, and the more I think about it.
McKinnon and Coleman are similar. Breida's like your early down grinder. Doesn't get hurt, plays injured, tough as nails.
I just don't see it. I can see Tevin Coleman being a nice flex play at best. Am I wrong?
No, that's about what. Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to play that game. Is he going to blow up this week, or is he going to get me 2?
Right. Now I know we kind of discussed trade value, but would you, if you were, is there any situation to where you're trying to buy Tevin Coleman right now? Because I mean, I think you could get
Gus Edwards for Tevin Coleman.
Oh, screw that! Give me Gus Bus.
Get out of here.
Give me Gus Bus all the way. I'm not even kidding. You would rather have Tevin Coleman after reading those numbers that you just read
than Gus
in a
Edwards?
much better, and I would argue a better offense.
Yeah.
Than Gus Edwards, who has no competition. Mark
Ingram.
I mean, yeah, but Mark, like we just talked about, Mark Ingram is a much different running back than Gus Edwards is, and I mean I'm not really sure that Mark Ingram has a lot left in the tank.
Get out of here.
I'm not
Ingram
convinced.
Is a surefire running back 1 this year.
Wow.
Surefire.
I think that's his ceiling. I'm not saying that's surefire. I could definitely see it happening. They're gonna need to figure out a different way to stretch the field then, because you can't have Lamar Jackson running it every other play and then hand it off to Mark Ingram and expecting to have him get 6-7 yards.
His floor is top 15. That's his floor.
I strongly disagree.
Well, that sounds like a hot take episode.
We could totally see Mark Ingram fall out of running back 2 territory by like week 6.
False.
No.
So Tevin Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get us back to.
Tevin Coleman's garbage. I think that's been established. I really don't see why anybody would want to get Tevin Coleman.
I don't see why Shanahan.
I don't see why anybody would buy. I don't see why anybody would do anything other than sell or pray that Tevin Coleman has some kind of value. You should have sold Tevin Coleman a year ago, quite frankly.
Yep.
That's all I got on Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head.
This player profile has been brought to you by DynastyTradeCalculator.com.
Stop guessing. Start calculating.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter @DynastyDads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.